It's 9:20. I'm going to try to keep this short as much as possible. If you find I'm talking too much, please feel free to raise your hands wherever you're sitting. For those of you who were not here this morning for our phenomenal market open, I would say good morning. Good morning, technophiles, investors, advisors. I see a few in the room. So I should acknowledge it, ladies and gentlemen. It is my utmost pleasure to welcome you to the Africa Tech Summit at the London Stock Exchange. I think it goes without saying that it warms my heart to see many of you here today. Most of you with impenetrable tenacity, pushing the envelope daily, innovating to make lives better, and having the presence of mind to continue to do it whilst facing so many constraints. Your resilience is only best expressed by Samuel Beckett's universal words: ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. Your entrepreneurial flair and tenacity are only matched by your abilities and ambition. I applaud you. I dare say, just going by the near $13.5 billion invested in Africa Tech from 2020 to 2022, if you're not invested in Africa Tech, then you must play fast catch-up by feeding your FOMO. When I was asked to speak today, I thought no better theme speaks to the essence of the London Stock Exchange Group and the driving influence behind Africa Tech Summit. We are, after all, a 300-year-old fintech with data and market infrastructure at the core of our business. I'm going to use a few slides anyway, just to make sure. When we completed our acquisition of Refinitiv in 2021, our group CEO, David Schwimmer, he said, and I quote, "London is open, and open makes possible." While this may seem a catchy phrase, its import for us is enshrined in the over $400 billion of foreign exchange transaction flows and 400,000 professionals globally relying on our data and analytics drawn from 150,000 sources to make decisions and drive investments daily. We are the venue on which issuers worth a combined £5 trillion are bought and sold, and where nearly 1,000 financial institutions manage their post-trade risk. London Stock Exchange is indeed at the heart of the global economy. Openness is fundamental to fostering an environment conducive to technological growth, where collaboration and knowledge exchange of best practices enables the integration of diverse perspectives and fuels the creative energy necessary for innovation to thrive. Our openness allows us to innovate, be dynamic, and to quote my CEO, Julia Hoggett, be scrappy and embrace the art of doing things differently. Our open approach informs everything we do, how we partner, create opportunities, and deliver sustainable value. Africa continues to grow in its technology sector with significant industrialization opportunity. According to McKinsey, so I'm still in a quote there, Africa will add 796 million people to the global workforce and be home to the largest and youngest population by 2050. That's, wow, significant. From Cape Town to Nairobi, Lagos to Cairo, there's ample evidence of Africans finding innovative ways to solve everyday problems with low capital intensity, leveraging technology. From very little, regional giants are being born. Twiga, as many of you know, was formed from the need to get fresh bananas to Zukas in Nairobi. Virtual was to solve everyday FX remittance problems for small businesses. And M-Kopa, which just closed a $250 million raise, was initially to solve access to electricity in remote areas. A wave of innovation is sweeping through the continent, transforming industries and creating new opportunities. At the heart of this transformation lies three crucial elements: openness, connectivity, and innovation. I am particularly excited about the expected impact of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, as we see an acceleration in trade on the back of continent-wide integration with modern infrastructure and technology. I would say our connectivity, and please permit me, I would use London and London Stock Exchange interchangeably as I speak today. London's connectivity with Africa makes it the standout destination for tech companies. And with all humility, I will probably say that we are the most international exchange globally. 40% of issuers on the LSE are international from over 100 countries, and the second home for African companies in the world outside of Johannesburg. 105 companies are currently listed on the LSE with a market capitalization in excess of $100 billion. You may not know this, but I'd say again that over $1.5 billion was raised between 2020 and 2022 alone by African companies listed on the LSE. In conversation, I'll tell people that I think our reason for being is 3 C's. And the 3 C's are capital, communities, and conversations. We're a global platform of capital users and providers working together with communities like yourself, Africa Tech being a critical piece of it, bringing it all together with the conversations that shape policy, corporate governance, inspire best practices, as well as motivate and help tech companies like yourself, not just to raise capital, but to do better for the greater good. The LSE is home to successful local and global tech, as well as tech-enabled companies. So I probably proudly tell you that more than 200 companies on our platform are tech and consumer internet companies with a market cap in excess of $200 billion. I beg your pardon, $120 billion. I would like $200 billion now. Later today, I'm sure you'll hear from my colleague, Neil Shah, on how we are connecting creators and capital. Zebras, Sunicons, Unicorns, and Decacons are all loved and welcome here. And if you're confused, although sort of with the energy in the room and the people I've met today, I doubt that you are, that you think an African tech company should choose London over US. You only need 30 seconds with Neil. Importantly, and in related and very relevant news, I'll tell you, cab payments, which I spent a good chunk of my banking life trying to sell, announced its intention to float on the London Stock Exchange last week. I think we expect that in the future, the company says in the future, it expects it will be eligible for inclusion in FTSE UK indices, which is, I think, again, a further evidence of a thriving tech sector on the London Stock Exchange. So, markets have been mute. However, we are busy. We've been busy and we continue to be busy. There have been 18 IPOs completed year to date, 142 follow-ons completed, and close to £11 billion that have been raised on the LSE. Okay, I'm going to, last quote. So I would say this and I wouldn't. In the immortal words of Sun Tzu, in a time of peace, prepare for war. We refuse to stand still and let the grass grow underneath our feet. London is undergoing the most significant rule changes in 3 decades. What the regulators call in the primary market's effectiveness review. And this is all to enhance the listing process, spotlight London as a destination, and facilitating a thriving ecosystem that allows companies to start, grow, and scale here. Innovation is the engine that propels us forward. Pushing the boundaries of what is possible is the driving force behind Africa's technological revolution. It is through innovation that we develop groundbreaking solutions to address our unique challenges and capitalize on our vast opportunities. We are developing what we call the first cohesive funding continuum to ensure we are catering to every part of the barrel and to be part of your capital raising journey going forward. We have invested in a company called Flow, creating an end-to-end investment journey for entrepreneurs and founders. I think there are a number of you thinking about your Series A and Series B. I'm just looking in the room now to see if my colleague, Flozy, yes, she is at the back of the room. She'll be here to tell you a little bit about Flow. Flow provides a unique platform for VCs and investors to leverage real data and to get access to the best deals based on funding stage, sector, and geography. In the middle of the barrel, and we're developing what they call intermittent trading venue. It's the world's first crossover market. And I think for a lot of people sitting in this room, there's that trepidation about going public, and you're worried about, once you go public, what does this mean for you? So the London Stock Exchange, working with the FCA, is putting something together called an ITV, where as a private company, you can essentially diversify your shareholder base without necessarily going public. It's currently called the ITV, but I think at some point the name will change. It's a regulatory framework, entirely new concept in wholesale markets, leveraging aspects of the private market, transactions, and public market infrastructure and distribution channels to access a broader set of institutional and sophisticated investor base. So as a private company, you can use your shares to incentivize your employees. They can sell down intermittently based on certain disclosure requirements and disclosure timelines. We expect to have this in regulatory sandbox next year, and then the goal by mid-2024. I know I'm standing here on behalf of the London Stock Exchange. I've tried as much as possible not to do too much marketing, but I would be crazy if I didn't do that. But I will pause here and say thank you for your attention. Of course, wish you a very stimulating and engaging session today. Thank you very much.